Well, hello, folks. This is the video for the 27th of January, 2019. And as you can see, I have someone new on the screen with me. His name is Phillip Peacock, and we're going to talk about incredible trip, strong convictions. And I've actually already started writing a blurb based on communication I've had with him. This is the letter he sent me. As you can see, it's quite long. But I'm not going to read the whole letter, so don't worry about that. But anyway, here's my blurb that I have so far. This is the first video I have made with Phillip, and it is the result of a message he sent to me labeled "Strong in Your Convictions." It began, quote, "What an incredible trip it is to listen to you every day. I have been listening to your videos for years. It is hard to think about the good old days when we had hope that the Creator was about to bring truth and justice to this world. I share so much of your thinking, your conclusions, and the hope for a better tomorrow." End quote. Phillip, talk to us. Tell us about your experience and whatever you would like to share with us.
Well, first of all, thank you so much for having me with you. I've been a follower for a long time. And it's like I said, it's a thrill. Sometimes I stay up to 3-4 o'clock in the morning just to get the fresh news and see your videos every day. I live in Iowa. I'm originally from Albany, New York. I was born there, and then I was taken. My family moved down to Chile, so I lived there for most of my life. I'm going to say about 30 years. I've been all over the world, except for Africa and Australia and Japan. And I've done everything and anything in my life. I'm a globetrotter, you can say that. I speak several languages, mostly Spanish. That's my first language. That's kind of the weird accent I have. And
but you speak a lot of languages.
Yeah, and a lot of BS too. And since I was a kid, I did not connect with the rest of the people. I did not accept.
You're all of a sudden there's a distortion in the sound.
Oh, I don't know if there is any incoming. I don't have nothing incoming. Can you hear me now?
I don't know what. Keep talking.
Is that okay? It sounds good now.
No, there's a distortion in your voice.
But that's weird. I haven't changed nothing. I haven't touched nothing.
I know. I can see you. The video is fine, and I can understand you, but there is a distortion.
Oh, okay. It might be the secret space program or the government is trying to interrupt us. I said everything since I was a kid. I did not fit with the rest of the people. I did not fit with the common core. I was always challenging authority, religion. I was raised Roman Catholic, very, very strong. My mother she's passed now, but she was from a strong line from the Opus Dei, which is a very strong line of the Catholic Church.
Yes, I'm familiar with Opus Dei.
Yeah, and me, I was wild. I spent some time with Buddhists. I spent some time with Seventh-day Adventists. I was a part of the Mormon Church for 5 years, and I did many other things. I got involved with Judaism, Hinduism, Buddhism, and like I said, and I could never find a true answer because of the people, not of the beliefs. The people that made the religion is the one that basically screwed up all the teachings of the masters, and the blindness of the people is what it makes me. I always say I already lost all faith in the human race because the ego mind and the greed is destroying us.
Well, I'm still hoping that the audio clears up. It's still garbled. I can understand it, but I've got to really listen. So
Okay.
I'm not sure what that issue is. I'm hoping that people would have the patience that I'm having trying to focus in on what you're saying, because as I said, I can understand you.
Right. If you want to restart, let's.
Now your voice is clearer.
Okay. Let's keep on going then.
Yeah, forget the timer, because we're going to have to cut some of this out. So anyway, you were beginning to share more of your history, that you were born in Albany and then moved to Chile.
Uh-huh.
And you've been all over the world except for Australia and Africa. That's some of what I remember that you said in the
in Japan. I mean, I've been. I passed by Russia. I didn't. We actually landed in St. Petersburg and went someplace else. But I've been in most of Europe, all over America. Canada, United States, Mexico, all South America, with the exclusion of the 3 little countries on top of Brazil that they used to be called Guianas, but now they're Belize and
yeah, I know, the British, Dutch, and French Guiana.
Exactly, the Guianas, but I remember that, but now they're calling it different. So,
right, I know, they all have a different name, Suriname and...
exactly. And I always think that there's some place in Africa, and I'm going like, no, wait a minute, they're top of South America. So, but like I said, I've been all over. I have friends from all sorts of life. One thing that always amazes me, Ron, and I always tell people, I have found kindness in the most incredible people. I mean, the kindness and good-hearted, the most hearted people I ever met is the people that have less. I mean, I have found wisdom.
Isn't that ironic?
Yep. I have found wisdom in people that live under the bridge, and they're willing to share half of the bread with you. And I'm not going to mention names, but for example, when I became disabled, my legs are out of commission, so due to my back, and I have a hard time walking and moving around and doing things like I used to. I have a friend that lives in the United States, and he is a extremely wealthy person. And this friend knew that I was going through, foreclosure, about to lose my house and all kinds of things. And we had a phone call, and in this phone call, he tells me how he spent $530,000, more than $500,000, in his daughter, 15-year-old party, or sweet 16. And but he wouldn't even offer $20. I mean, this guy used to take cigarettes from me when we used to go out. Having $1,000 on his wallet, he would take cigarettes from me. That's how people is. That's how they get richer. Greed and taking advantage of people. But when he told me that he gave a party of $530,000 to a 16-year-old that is driving a Mercedes that costs $75,000, and with $100,000 I can pay off my house. I just didn't want to talk to him ever again. I'm not waiting for anyone to give me a handout. It's just that I don't see the reason. I don't see the logical thinking process in doing something like that. I mean, humans don't want to help humans. They just want to be good for themselves. And that is what is destroying society from my point of view. Everything is about greed, selfishness. There's not one unity consciousness that everybody talks about, and all this new age people is just all over the internet, and everybody's getting downloads from the ether, and they're talking to the Pleiadians, and they're talking to all kinds of space beings, and everybody's got the truth. There's no truth. And sometimes I listen to the shows when Mother God is speaking, and the Pleiadians, and Command Ashtar, and these people in the chat room. And I have nothing against them. You know, God bless their hearts.
No, I've listened to many of those ones that you're naming, practically all of them, in fact.
Right. You know, and it's funny when they said, oh, well, I need 3 confirmations, and you hear the voices confirm. And I go like, really? You know, Archangel Michael is downloading. And I'm like, oh my God, people, I mean, do you believe that? It's like the flat earth. You know, it might be. I don't really care if it's flat or not. But why push it so hard and to make it like a life's decision? So you are garbage if you don't believe in flat earth. You are nothing. You're ignorant. You're blind. And I go like, dude, who cares? I'm concerned about what am I going to eat next day. I mean, what's going to be my future? What's going to happen with my family? If this is round, square, if it has the form of air, of a tetrahedron, I don't care. But you see, it's how we've been conditioned, and how the human being has been pushed to believe things that are absolutely ridiculous in order to continue. And like I was saying before, following sport teams that don't give you nothing, not even pleasure, because most of the time they lose. But people get T-shirts and hats and flags in their houses and stickers in the cars, and go like, you worship him. For what? Oh, the Spanish. Oh, Messi, the super soccer player. The guy that doesn't give a damn about you. You know, he's not going to come and pay your bills or help your children. He does one charity a year, and everybody's clapping and crying. Really? What about the guy like you who takes your neighbors for shopping, who loses his house because of corruption of banks and stuff? Nobody wants to talk about it. You have thousands of people listening to you, Ron. But YouTube and Google, or whoever is in charge of the gig now, it puts there that you have, 14,000 followers? You have more than that. You know that. But they just got it to, it's a nobody. But I'm pretty sure that if you were talking about their agenda, you have 500,000 people in your list.
Yeah, there seems to be a lot of things that don't make sense. Let's just put it that way. And I don't know why. I mean, I know there's an agenda of the people that want to control the world, and to me, it's a dark agenda. And I have trouble understanding why a loving God allows it to go on and on and on for generations without doing anything about it. Free will is one thing, but I mean, we live on a planet that we've been enslaved. Doesn't anybody care?
Well, I don't believe in free will. That was one of my questions, or one of my questions to the priest and to the people I grew up with all the time. I said, okay, you're telling me that God is omnipresent and he's got all this power, so he knows everything from beginning to end. So if he knows, what am I going to do, even which way I'm going to go, what decisions I'm going to take in my life? How come they're my personal decisions? It's already been written, like the Islamic religion. Everything is written. So where's the free will? Free will of what? It's like the freedoms in America. Yeah, you have the freedom of choice, and I'm going to quote George Carlin. Yeah, you can choose 15 different types of bagel, but that's it. I mean, not even 100 years ago, you were able to build a deck in the back of your house without pulling out 13 permits and having a guy coming into your house that you have to pay, and the fire code and this code and that code. They change everything. You don't even own your own house. Everything belongs to the government. And then you have paid taxes. And if you don't pay taxes over the land that you're supposedly owned, they take your house. So there's no ownership. It's the illusion of ownership.
Everything is a delusion.
According to the Constitution, we're not even supposed to be demanded to have a driver's license because it's designed for commercial vehicles, not for private transportation, which is part of our rights. It's included in the Constitution and Bill of Rights. In your case, you were caught driving with an international driver license. Well, there is a treaty from 1939, an international treaty from 1939 that says clearly that you can drive with an international driver license in the United States. It was signed by the United States, and it's still enforced. So whoever caught you and give you a hard time with it, they broke the law. But nobody does nothing.
Yeah, the ones that wear badges and carry guns are often lawbreakers, even though they don't know that they are. They're usually opportunists that have taken advantage of the system for just survival in many cases.
Well, you know, I have a lot of respect for law enforcement, but most of them, they act like thugs. They all look like they come from some particular culture. They got kind of my haircut. And I always wear the same haircut for the past 53 years. But they've been taught to do that. And that's what we do. People is not using they don't want to think. They want everything done. You know, if you really stop, and I always tell my children, don't think with your head, think with your heart. Mm-hmm. And how they do that. And I try to explain to them, well, there is more electric reactions and conductivity and things happening in the heart than in the brain. And that's why for eons, we talk about the heart, which is the true brain. This is just a hard drive. That's it. Because this is the motor of the soul. That's my belief.
Yeah.
And this is just a hard drive. And believe me, when the hard drive fails, everything collapses. I understand that. But there's nothing here. And they're blocking our pineal gland. Our kids are being taught nothing in school. They even changing the way they teach math now. It's ridiculous, the stuff they're teaching in school. And you go and talk to the teachers, and they tell you, I know, but it's the curriculum, and I have to follow it. And go like, dude, do something about it. You have my children more hours in your class than I have in my home. Because when they're at home, they're sleeping, or they're playing for a couple hours, and I'm busy, or I'm at work. And you have them, and you're destroying their minds with bullcrap.
And nowadays, the bullcrap is on the internet, and they're on they're texting and watching all sorts of crazy stuff on their tablets or cell phones, or sometimes their computers.
Well, you try to take them away from that, Ron, and the problem is that in the case of my children, they would walk away, but then the friends would tell them, "Oh, you are, old news," or "Why you have that old-fashioned phone? We don't use that anymore. You need an iPhone 19." And I'm like, really? It's this competition of who has the best, and technology is supposed to be an aid, not a full resource to rely completely on it. People forgot how to work the land. Children don't even know how to plant tomatoes. Back in the 70s, they already asked the children where the milk comes from, and they used to draw a milk cart. They didn't even know cows. Half of the children's in the cities. And draw a chicken, and they draw a chicken in a bag. I mean, it was as bad as that in the 70s. They got more stupid in the 80s. We were. I mean, at least I was. In the 90s, worse. Now in 2019, you'll be surprised. I seen the videos of teenagers, smart kids that can do anything with computers, trying to work up a rotary phone. You know, the phone with the dial,
Oh,
and they cannot make sense of it. And I just laughed for an hour when I saw the video because they didn't know how to dial the number, and they will dial, but they will not pick up the horn. So I mean, it was just, I mean, honestly, I laughed. And that's what we're going through. We're forgetting everything. This kid doesn't even know how to change a tire. It's sad. There's no spirituality. There is no morality. They're destroying everything.
there's no gender.
Well, don't even get me started with that, because I have not.
I think that is the most insane thing. They have to wait till the child is like 12 or 13, and they can decide whether they want to be a boy or a girl.
You know, I did something, and this is me. This is personal. It's completely, it's part of, it's just for information purposes only, and it's not part of anything. This is what I do with my children. I take a bolt and a nut, 2 bolts and 2 nuts, and I put them on the table. And I said, okay, what does it work? The 2 nuts don't work together. The 2 bolts don't work together. The bolt and the nut, they work together. That's it. It's kind of the you know, the birds and the bees.
Right.
But it's very simple. And there is no other choice. This is nature. This is normal. There is exceptions. There's people, you know, and it's a personal choice. But you know what? Don't push it down my throat. Don't. If you want to be different, or if you consider there is the new normal, it's not for me. It's like talking about abortion. To me, abortion is murder. I understand there's cases of rape, there's cases, but this ladies that start to, oh, you're taking the decision, the power of decision. You wanna control the body of a woman. No. It's, you understand, there is no abortion in nature. I don't see the Papa Lion comes over and just stick his hand out and grab the calf and said, you're not going to have this baby. We destroy lives. The minute or the second of the conception is there a new being right there. The first cell, it is a new being. You cannot touch it. Now, if the mother is in danger, if the child's going to die, I mean, there's all kinds of considerations into it. But now they're pushing, I even accept contraception. You know, if you don't want to have babies, go and take contraception. There's all kinds of it. Why you have to go and kill a living being? But you know what? That's going to probably start a controversy, and I'm going to get a lot of people hating me. So.
Yeah, now they're wanting to approve abortions even up to anything before birth.
I just
I mean, it's insane.
The government of New York already passed it, so it's the demonic forces, I believe. I'm not a stronger believer in the demon, in the devil. I believe it to be the devil as we were taught at Christians. To me, it's a Catholic or a Roman Catholic construct. The Bible, it's been rewritten many times. The books have been completely torn apart, put them back together. Words changed. I mean, it's a shame. But still, there's people that, you know, like the horses, and they fight you on it, and you present the proof. No, that's false. Those are the words of the devil. And there's no hope.
Well, it certainly is an incredible trip that we're on as human beings, and hopefully it has an end that's going to be positive. Or are we going to just destroy ourselves again, which there are archaeological findings that indicate that this is the 5th world that we're on right now.
Yep.
So how many times are we going to go through this over and over again before whoever it is that's going to wake up, including us, wakes up. I mean,
Well,
that's the dilemma that I face and wrestle with all the time, because I want my life to have meaning.
same here.
I don't.
Same here.
I've always felt that I was here for a reason and a good high moral purpose, and it was not to be the only one that's right.
There is no right. I mean, we have to get together, and you have to find common ground, because every person is a universe, and it's like men and women. They're never going to agree in everything, but you have to find common ground with everybody so we can live together. You know what I mean? And that's what people's not doing. Everybody wants to impose their own thinking
On those that have a different point of view.
Exactly. So I don't know. I wanted to thank you again for giving me the honor to participate. Whatever you need, I'm here. My time is all yours. I got plenty of that with my legs being shot, so I can sit down and talk all day. And if you need anything, or if you have anything that you want to discuss or talk about, just let me know. I'll be more than happy.
Well, now we can connect on Zoom. We know how it's done. And
yes.
I don't usually use Skype at all anymore. Very, very rarely, but it still exists. It's on my computer.
So. I'm going to try to get a better device, so we don't have the sound problems and the.
Yeah, and my phone even, I can call anywhere in the United States. On my basic plan. I mean, there's no toll. It's not a toll call wherever it is. So.
That's good. Well, I'm in Iowa, so it's pretty cold out here.
You can keep that.
Yeah, I know. I used to live in close to Clearwater, close to Tampa, and I know how Florida is. I lived in Miami for a long time too, so I kind of miss that. But you know what? I don't like the hot. I like the changing weather. It's kind of
a lot of people feel that way.
It's the spice of life that changes.
Philip, thank you for taking the time. Sorry we had the confusion, and of course I'm going to edit out some of the stuff in the middle, and I'll figure out how best to put this video up, but it will go up tomorrow as our video, and I'm glad the voice cleared up. So
that's fine. No, and if you need to re-record or anything later on today, just let me know if it doesn't come up good. I think it went really good. I'm dying to see myself on the.
Okay, well, I see myself every day, so.
I know. Yeah, but you're beautiful. I'm not.
We're all beautiful in our own way. Thank you again, and peace, my friend.
Yeah, you take care. Thank you so much, and namaste, Ron.
Namaste.